Broadway news that you want to know on the Salisha Show. Starring you and your favorite roles on the Salisha Show. Staying true, going with the flow on the Salisha Show. So come on through, everybody glows on the Salisha Show.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Salisha Show. You guys, this is such an exciting day. My guest is literally amazing. Like, she's amazing. Like, before I knew who she was, she's been in one of the first shows that I ever saw when I first moved to New York City over a decade ago. And to see her having gone to the West End and come back to Broadway and like seeing her starring in a show now is just nothing short of incredible. So, okay, she's a Broadway darling, a West End sensation, an unstoppable force of nature. You've seen her shine in Aladdin, Something Rotten, Dreamgirls, Waitress, Oklahoma. She toured with Book of Mormon, and so many more. And if you've ever heard her sing, you know she's got one of the most powerful voices in the business, having made her triumphant return to Broadway, starring as Sally Bowles in Cabaret. Y'all, please put your hands together and help me welcome the one, the only, Marisha Wallace!
Hello. What an intro. And I liked your video intro as well. It was very fun.
Thank you so much. It is such an honor to talk to you. I know that you're in the midst of a crazy production schedule right now. You're doing Cabaret. How is it going over there?
Oh my God, it's amazing. It's gone by so fast as well. Like we're already like in our 7th week to the end. So we have about 6 weeks left.
It's already been 7 weeks.
Yes, it's gone by so fast. It's so crazy. Like it's wild. But time flies when you're having a good time.
Let's go.
It's been historic. It's been iconic. It's been, you know how you just been working away for so many years and to finally get to the top of that mountain and have a mountaintop experience where you can see the lay of the land and you can see where your hard work has taken you. That's kind of what I've been experiencing. And also everyone that I've worked with for many, many years, like over 20 years in the industry, who are still out here, who are still,
Let's go.
doing their thing. They're all so proud because I'm one of the people. Like I've been in the trenches with everybody. I
Yeah.
hustled with everybody. We stood outside of the Actors Equity Building at 4
Come
a.m.
on.
in the
Come
cold
on,
together.
Marisha.
It's real. So I think my coming back in such an incredible way has validated a lot of people's journey that, we can't give up, that we have to keep going and that hard work does pay off and that good people do win. And you don't have to step on everybody to get to the top. You can bring everybody with you. And that's what's been incredible.
That is inspiring. It's inspiring to hear and also to make it feel like there's so many people who like want to get into Broadway who are these theater kids, and it just feels I think when you're in college or before you move out to New York, it feels like this far away thing. Like, how do I even do it? But what you just said is like, if I could do it, you can do it. Like, that's how it made me feel.
Mm-hmm.
Something rotten. I'm sorry. I just have to just come back for a little bit. That's the funniest show that I've ever seen on Broadway. And I do not understand how it did not run for 35 years. That show is the funniest show that I've ever seen. I was front row center, won a lottery ticket, and I really enjoyed myself. And you were in that production, you were OBC.
Yeah, I was the original Broadway cast. I did all the workshops of it. I was every iteration of an egg. First, we were a fried egg, then we were an omelet, then we were a whole egg.
One of the most memorable parts of the show.
Yeah, it was incredible. And I just recently got to do it again in London. We did a concert version and I played B, and it was amazing. And it's coming back to the UK was going to go to the UK for the first time. But that show changed my life. Like the people I got to work with on that show were like Broadway veterans who really taught me how to be a Broadway veteran. I think that
Right.
was cool. Like Brian Darcy James, Christian Borle, Heidi Blinkenstaff. Like, and I just soaked up. I just watched them. I watched everything they did, how they moved in the rehearsal space, how they moved in the company, like their comic timing. I listened to their notes. It was just I was getting paid to get an education in how
Come
to
on.
be a Broadway star. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So cool about it. There were so many people in that cast who were stars who were playing eggs. Like that was great. Like Michael James Scott, who's now been the genie for
Right.
10, 11 years.
And you weren't OBC for Aladdin, were you?
Yeah, I was OBC for Aladdin as well. And we were part of the Casey Nicolau like repertory company is what we call it.
Come on.
So we worked with him for over 5 years. And he's the reason why I went to London to do Dreamgirls, because he was directing it there. And
I saw that production.
yeah, Amber had gotten sick and they were like, can you get Marisha here tonight? And then 5 days, I had 5 days of rehearsal and then I was on. And I was leading a West End show.
Hold
All
on.
because of an egg. I went from eggy white.
Is that what got you to the West End or something else?
That was it. It was Dreamgirls. Because I was in something rotten on a Thursday. I got a call on that Thursday. Friday night, I went to do the show at Something Rotten, and they were like, "We need to get Marisha to London tonight,
Are you kidding?
this weekend." Yeah. So I was like, I need to go pack and get my life together. So I went to the stage management office and I said, I'm leaving the show. And he was like, what? When? I was like, tonight. This is my last show. And everyone in the cast didn't know. No, people didn't know. Like I had to go around and I couldn't really tell them why, but I was like, I have to tell them why. Because I can't just leave. Like I've been doing this show for all these years. I have all this, you know. So I was like, I'm going to go do Dreamgirls. And they're all like, oh my God, you can leave. So then I left that weekend and I was there for the opening night of Dreamgirls in London. I sat next to Ben Platt's dad. I'll never forget it.
Mark Platt?
Mark Platt. Yep. Watched Amber
Okay.
play it down.
Casual.
And then in 5 days, they had put me in somebody's costumes. I don't know where they got these costumes from. I had a fitting on the day that I arrived. And then I learned the show in 5 days. And I had just done it in Dallas. So I knew the music, obviously.
Yeah.
But like Act Two was completely different. Listen
Yes.
was not in the version that I did.
Yeah, the London production was different than any production I've seen of Dreamgirls.
They added Listen. The choreography is completely different. But Casey, I've known Casey. I mean, I worked with Casey for 5 years. So I knew how to pick up fast. And
Yeah.
I knew his style. And
Wait, Marisha, why didn't it come to Broadway? What the heck?
it was a long story. It was supposed to, and then COVID happened, and then they were going back and forth. They were like, we don't know if we need a star, if we need someone younger, or da 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 da. Da. I think it's coming back now, but I'm so past it now that I don't think I could do it now. But yeah, it changed my life. I was there for 2 years. I ended up taking over the role. I did it for 2 years. That was the hardest show
Dreamgirls
I've
is
ever done in my
hard.
life.
But like for
People
Effie,
have no idea. I feel like I need to be Effie coach. Like if they do it, I was like, you need a consultant because.
but also like you've done Hairspray too. And I feel like Hairspray is a sneak attack as well.
Hairspray's hard. Well, I play Motor Mouth in Hairspray, and you don't come in till 45 minutes in, but like you come in all guns blazing 45 minutes in, and then you're on, and then you got to do all the biggest numbers in the show all at once. And I loved doing Hairspray because I thought I was too young to play Motor Mouth at the time. And I was like, guys, I'm too young for this. And they were like, we don't care. That's what they said. They were like, we want your voice. Like, we want you to do it. And they were like, and it's like a almost 3,000 seat house. And they put me in a wig and it actually really worked. It actually really works.
Well, why are you saying that like we're surprised? Like
Actually really
it
worked.
actually worked. Yeah, duh, it's you.
It worked. And I got standing ovations every night for I Know Where I've Been. And we were doing this in the middle of the pandemic. So like the first couple of shows, first weeks were social distance. So we only had like half the audience. And then we were one of the first shows to go to full capacity. And so
Oh.
people were crying. They were like, this is the first time I experienced a show
Oh
in
my
2 years, like with my family, with my
Yeah.
friend. Like, this is my first time I've been in a theater with my grandma. Like,
You-
it was crazy.
That was an emotional time.
And I got to do with the original creative team. So with Jerry Mitchell and Jack O'Brien and Mark Shaman. That's what
Okay, now you're bragging. This is incredible.
It was great. And we did all the original choreo and the original, because when do we ever get to do that anymore? Like,
Okay, wait.
now
Okay.
all the productions are like, a new choreography or we did the original production in London. It was insane.
Okay, okay. Hold up, Marisha. I need you to break it down for me because, so for those of you who are just now being exposed to the incredible Marisha Wallace, okay, you were out here in Broadway, you had some great roles, but there were ensemble roles. Then you go to the West End and you just became a star. And not only did you become a star, but you glowed up in front of everybody. It was we could see the glow up. We could see you becoming who you are, and the shedding of, I don't even know, just what didn't need to be there. It was you were finding yourself in front of everybody. What was that for you? And could you feel your rising star? Could you feel yourself I don't know, stepping into your power?
I was. And I also was shedding. The shedding is so important because I started shedding as soon as I arrived in London, because I was going through a terrible marriage when I left New York. I was on my knees, you pray in your bed. I was on my knees praying to God to get me out of the situation that I was in. And I was like, I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what this is. I just have to get out of this. I can't be in this anymore. And then London called. It was literally and I was like, God, this is it? This, what? I have to move to another country? And I was like, okay. Because said to God, I said, if you get me out of this situation, I will do whatever you tell me to do. I will follow whatever the spirits tell me to go. I will follow it. And that opportunity came up, and I was like, this is it? This is what you mean?
Shut
So
up.
then when I got there, I knew I was divinely supposed to be there. I knew I wasn't coming back. That was what was crazy. How did I know I wasn't coming back?
What?
I knew I wasn't coming
You
back.
knew you weren't coming back?
As soon as they called me, I wasn't coming back. I knew it. I was like, this is the thing I prayed for. This is what I was asking for. So then when I got there, and I didn't even know at the time that I was only supposed to be there 3 weeks.
You didn't know?
They told me afterwards. They were like, do you know you're only supposed to be here 3 weeks?
Heifer, you went over there and you stayed. You said,
I was there for
3 weeks
9 years.
where?
9 years I stayed.
Almost a decade.
But I also did a lot of shedding of expectations, because when you are Black and curvy and in this business, there's only about 5 roles you can play. There's only about 5 things they think you can do. Be funny, have a high voice, be a
Riff.
sidekick, be a magical Negro,
Mhm.
be you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I was okay with that, because I was like, at least I can make some money. At least I can work. But there was always something in the back of my mind that was like, there's got to be something else. And I think it was when I went on for B in Something Rotten. And when I had played Ado Annie in an all Black version of Oklahoma years ago. And I was like, I always played with doing roles that weren't specifically for Black women. I was playing with, I played Dotsie Mae in Bessel House in Texas. I played Ado Annie. This was all kind of before I actually started really diving into this kind of work. And I was like, there's got to be something else. There's got to be something else for us. We can't just be boxed in. And then when I went into Dreamgirls, I really got a feeling of it, because I was like, oh my God, this is what it's like to be the center of the narrative, to be where it's not, where you are, the story is about you. I was
Right.
like, oh, What's
It's
that?
not Dina.
Oh, it's about Effie. I was like,
It's
okay.
Effie's story.
But even Dina as well. I was like, we're a black woman. It's stories about her. You know what I mean? Like that really blew my mind. I think it also blew their minds when they made this show in the 80s. You know what I mean? Because
So
that's
it
when Shirley Lee Ralph was like, oh wait, I
Oh,
could be
Shirley
more
Ralph.
than just
Yeah.
a sidekick. I could be the star. You know what I mean?
So here's a trick question though for you, because you've been on both sides of the table and both sides of the pond. But so being in the ensemble, whether it's featured or not, or having the story revolve around you, this sounds like a trick question and it's probably an obvious answer, but I'm still going to ask it. What do you prefer? Because both have pros
I
and
think you have
cons.
to. I'm so glad I was in the ensemble because I learned what it meant to facilitate someone else's moment, but then also to be in the moment, to be the moment. So those are two different skill sets. So, like, as an ensemble member, I still shined. Like, I still
Yeah, you
could
did.
take my moments and I could still have ownership of what I brought to the table, even in a small role. People would be like, who is that?
Yeah.
What's that? Who is that? Like what? And not in a like I'm a pulling focus way, but I knew that I brought the party when I came, when I'm on
Yeah.
stage, it's gonna be a
Yes.
moment, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But then I also knew my place where I knew I had to throw focus to the person speaking and I had to make sure that I was on, that I wasn't, marking, pulling focus that way. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? Like I had to, I think it was, and then I also learned that it's hard work. Ensemble work is hard work.
Yes,
Okay.
it is. It's very
And I
hard
think
work.
doing that work really fortifies you and you have a work ethic that is that you can take with you to when it's your time to be the center of the narrative. So, I mean, now that I am, the lead and the top of the bill and everything,
Hmm.
I know what it's like for the ensemble people, so I can have empathy and I can also treat them with respect because
Yes.
I know
Yes.
what it requires, and I also know that they themselves want to be in that spotlight too, and they deserve it. You know what I mean? Like a lot of them deserve to have that. And I know what that inner struggle feels like when you may not be doing the thing exactly that you want to do, but you have to do this thing right now to get to that next
Mm.
thing. And what that means. So, and then also when you become the lead, that's a whole nother thing. And I tell everyone, everybody wants the fame and nobody wants the pain.
That's the thing. So how is it? How is the pressure? How are you handling the, because like eyes are on you. You know, New York City people got opinions. Like, I don't know if I don't read reviews. Not even if I'm not in the show, but like, how are you doing with being the star?
Well, that's a whole nother thing in itself. I was like, everybody, wants to be the one, but when you're the one, it's a whole thing. You got to take care of yourself. You can't move like everybody else. It's lonely over here. You have to
Mm.
kind of separate yourself a bit because you have to just really take care of yourself because if you're sick, we're going to hear it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
If your
Yeah.
voice is out, we can hear it. Like when I was in the ensemble, I might lose my voice a little bit.
We're
Who's in
good.
the crowd?
We're fine.
And I would just bark it out for my little solo bits, and then But when it's all on you, you really have to have. It's more mental than physical. I really believe
Mm.
because a lot of my good friends, I'm kind of like the guru of my leading ladies.
Come
Like
on.
they
Let's
always call me and be like, "What can I do for
Marisha.
my voice? What can
How
I? What stylist am I supposed to use?
Come
What
on.
like." I'm losing my voice. Like Eva would call me during Hades Town and be like, "Girl, I'm going through it. What could help me?" I would coach people. I would mentor people. Like that's like I feel like I've really figured out how to handle the pressure in a very like it's about resilience and it's about knowing your instrument really well because the voice is is so fickle. It's a muscle. It's
Ugh.
but it's your whole body is an instrument. So how you take care of the entire, so I think of myself as like if I was a trumpet, I'm not gonna throw my trumpet up against the wall. I'm gonna put it in a case. I'm gonna clean it. I'm gonna make
Mhm.
sure that it's nice and protected every day. So I kind of have to treat my body the same way. I got into fitness, which really helped me a lot.
Yeah, you look fantastic.
Thank you. I lost like 80 pounds and
Oh
I
my
really started
gosh.
heavy lifting. I like that's been it's my therapy. But lifting
80
something really
pounds?
heavy, there's something to that because like nothing can get me because I'm like, I can lift 200 pounds. So like, what is this weight? What is this little thing that you want me to lift? What is this mental weight that you want me to lift? Like
Let's go.
what is this show? Like I'm stronger than my show. That so you always have to be stronger than your show. So if you're
Mm,
stronger than your show, the show is kind of light work because you're lifting heavy. You're like lifting things that seem impossible. And also like progressive overload is the thing, that you learn when you're lifting weights is that like every week you're adding a little bit more weight and you might not be able to lift it that week, but in a week's time, you may be able to lift it.
my gosh.
And
I'm pregnant right now and I'm taking this in a very different literal way. And I'm like, that's what it feels like.
but that's I've taken that mentality with me into my career. Like I may not be able to lift that weight right now, but if I keep working at it and I keep consistently lifting, I can add a little bit more weight and then I can lift a little more and then I can add a little more. And by the time you get to the end, you're like 100 pounds more than you lifted before. And I think that mentality, the discipline that comes with working out and taking care of yourself leaks into everything. So then once I started being more disciplined about my body and about what I put in my body and how I treat myself, then the work started changing. That was what
Interesting.
was really interesting because of the discipline and the focus. Because you're not just disciplined in the gym, you're disciplined when
In
it comes
life.
to what jobs you want to do. Because you set a goal. You're like, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to do this concert or I want to do this album. And we're going to take incremental steps every day to get to that goal. We're gonna add a little weight. We're gonna add a little weight. Gonna add a little
You
weight.
sound like a coach, Marisha.
I am a coach.
You sound like you be coaching people around the clock.
I do. I do. But I learned so much. I have a fitness coach called Leanne Marshall. And she's an online coach and she taught me, and she's also been in the business, but she taught me how to do 8 shows a week. But then internally, the work that we did to unravel all of the things that were holding me back because I was doing really well before I lost the weight and before I got into fitness. Like
Mm-hmm.
I have worked at every size. I've worked at every size, every weight, everything. Like
Amen.
I've never really had a problem with that. But it was just something that I needed to do mentally to get to this next level. I wanted to get to the next level. And I knew I had to change how I saw myself. I had to become the star. How see myself now was how I saw myself inside, but that had to come out on the outside.
Ooh.
That was who I saw. Who I am now is who I always saw myself as. Like I was always in there. But I had to figure out how am I going to make that show to other people on the outside. And that required me, getting into fitness, but also doing that work acting wise, singing
Let's
wise.
freaking go.
Let's go. Like everybody's so focused on I need to be as good as them or I'm comparing myself to them. Like I'm only up against myself. Like I'm literally trying to be better than I was yesterday. And if you do that, everything else will come. Like everything else will, how can I make myself become the best at what I want to do? And I always say that the best people that are still in voice lessons. They're still taking
Yes.
acting class.
Just because you make it to Broadway does not mean you stop your training.
No, you're still challenging yourself. You're still pushing the limits. You're still trying to rebrand. You're still trying to
Growing, expanding.
expanding. And then people are like, why am I not getting anywhere? Because you're not changing. You have to change. You have to
Ooh.
not be afraid of change. And it's not about like changing who you are, your identity. it's just about progress, just like pushing yourself, getting rid of your ego enough to say, okay, well, there might be a reason why I'm not booking something. Maybe I need to get better at acting. Maybe I need to take some singing lessons. Maybe
Mm.
I need to go to a different country.
Oh my
maybe,
gosh.
maybe I need to go into a different bracket. Maybe I need to rebrand myself. Like those things are okay. Like you are a business.
So I have to ask you, because you started off saying wait, when we started this interview, you said you needed to get away from a situation, that you got the call. It was like a divine call. You knew you were divinely supported. You go across the pond. You have 5 days to do the thing. You're supposed to only be there for 3 weeks, but you're there for 9 years. And now you're back in New York. How has that transition been coming? I don't know if we want to call it home or if we want to say, like, how has that been? Has it?
So Gavin Creel, who's my really good friend, would say everything is both.
Mm.
Good and bad, happy, sad, amazing, terrible. Like everything is both. And I think it has been such a validation that I was always worthy, that I already had everything inside of me to be great. It was already in there. That I had to go excavate that out. And also what's so interesting about what we do is that so much of who we believe we are is what people have told us who we are. And so to go somewhere and someone to say, wait a minute, you're not that, you're this. Actually, you're more than that. Actually, just be who you want to be. And then let's go from there. Show us who you are. Show us your acting, your talent. We want everything. I got to go somewhere and practice my art. We don't get a chance to practice. I think that is what's so interesting. I feel like our other counterparts, our white counterparts, they get so many more roles than us, that they get so many chances to practice,
So many reps in.
so many reps in. That's what I'm saying. They get so many reps in that you can become really great because you get a chance to practice. So when I got to London and I could just practice my art, I got to do all these amazing roles and work with all these incredible artists and creatives and directors like Nick Heitner and Jordan Fine and Rebecca Frecknell. And like, I just got to, and they never boxed me. They never said, oh, stand on your hip, hand on hip, you sassy girl.
Sassier, please. A little bit more urban.
Never heard any of those words. I never heard more urban. They don't even have that. Like what is urban? Like they don't even know what that is. Like
Oh
what
my
is that?
gosh. Wow, what a
Like
dream.
what is that? And I'm not saying there's not racism there. It's just different. It's just a different thing. And because I was American, they just trusted that I knew what I was talking about.
Oh, for real?
They just like, oh, you gotta be a sassy black girl if you need to be you are a sassy black girl. Do you know what I mean?
They just trusted.
They just trusted me to do what I do. And Guys and Dolls was really even more eye-opening than any of the other shows because they really trusted me. They were like, just do your thing. We rearranged the music. I got to work in the vocal arrangements. We reharmonized things, had the intentions of the line, like how we went into this, my references. I could help with the costume design. Like I
What?
would send Bunny um an Instagram of this burlesque dancer that I like. And I was like, look at this outfit. Look how this looks. And like the references were like Beyonce and like it was
What?
crazy.
What?
And Meg the Stallion. Like these were the references
In Guys and Dolls?
in Guys and Dolls.
Okay, wait. Another question for you. And we're going to wrap up soon because I literally can talk to you all day. I'm like, let me take your class, Marisha. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first Black woman who you saw in a role that was not typically written for us, that maybe inspired you, or is taking non-typical roles something that has just always been in you? Do you remember what that was for you?
Well, it was written for a Black woman, but I felt like how she approached it felt universal. Heather
Who?
Headley.
What?
Heather
Who?
Headley and Aida. I just thought that even though that was written for a Black woman, it didn't feel Black. And like it felt like she was just a Disney princess. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
it just felt
And she
like
happened to be Black.
who happened to be Black. Like it like how queenly she was, how
Regal.
regal, how in the center of the narrative she was, how she
I
commanded
have
the
goosebumps.
stage, like how she, and when they exalted her and lifted her up into the air, I was like, what's happening? That so my teacher took me to see that. And I was just, and she was like, that's you. You need to do that. And even how she stood her presence, like it was changing. And then also Pearl Bailey and Dolly was one where I was like,
Oh,
wait a minute.
that's awesome.
This is something else. This is wait, we can take on these roles and still be Black and still bring our culture to it
Right,
and
right.
still bring our backstory to it. That's kind of what I've done with Sally and with Adelaide. I was like, what does it actually look like to be a Black
Yes,
cabaret singer in the
yes.
1930s in Germany? And there were many. That's what's crazy.
It's not like Black people didn't exist.
But also jazz was the biggest music at the time. So you're going to tell me it was only white German people singing jazz in a club? No.
No.
It was Black people singing jazz
Oh my
in clubs.
gosh.
That was
Ah.
that was always so crazy to me. And I was like, it's called cabaret. She is a cabaret. Cabaret singing is an art form as well. Like to be a cabaret singer is an art form. Like that was another thing that blew my mind. Also, Josephine Baker worked in the cabarets in
Mm.
Berlin as a spy halfway through the war. So
Oh,
she was a
yes.
spy for France in World War II against the Nazis. So she'd be in the clubs singing and spying on them, spy like at the same time. So I was like,
Oh, wait a
how has
minute.
that ever been explored? But it's kind of a way to bring in our history to a piece that was never made for us, which I
Hmm.
think has been so beautiful. And the estate, like that's the thing. People think we just happen upon these roles. The estate has to approve you. Joe Mastroff, Candor and Ebb, like the people who wrote the thing have to say yes. And that message that sends to all the other estates that this is okay. We want to reimagine our classics in a different way through a different lens. And it doesn't change the story. If anything, it makes it even more powerful.
Oh, I loved it. I loved seeing Cabaret. You know, that was the first production of Cabaret that I have ever seen. And Cabaret,
Wow.
yes. And it's been open for a little while now on Broadway. Like, let's talk post-pandemic. Shows are here today, gone tomorrow. My show lasted 3 whole months and we worked on that thing for years. Literally. This Cabaret's been around for what?
Over a
Maybe
year.
over a
Like a year
year.
and 6 months.
That is a huge accomplishment, especially post-pandemic. It took me seeing Billy Porter, Marisha Wallace. I said, fine, let's get tickets.
Let's go.
Literally, the press team offered me free tickets before I got to see. I said, oh, I already bought tickets. Oh, I've already seen it. I didn't wait. Before I even knew if I was going to get to talk to you, I'm like, I'm going to see this show. I'll buy the ticket. Like, let me support. Also, let me support. Like, let's go. And it was fantastic. I laughed. Billy Porter was so Billy Porter. I'm like, I don't have anything to compare this to, but I know that's not in the script. And I am so here for it. He said, I told these bitches I don't do floor work. I'm like, and when it came to you, oh my God, what is it the title song at the
Cabaret.
end?
And maybe this time.
Marisha, it might have been maybe the one at the end. You were fantastic the entire show, but by the time we got to the end, when all the build up, I said, what? And then you didn't even get to see the standing ovation because you were out. You were gone. It was blackout.
I'm through the floor.
Does anybody tell you they're standing?
Yeah, they tell me. Yeah, they tell me. And then sometimes they beat on the floor. They're like, with their feet.
Marisha, this pregnant woman, I am 9 months pregnant right now. I don't be getting up for nobody, okay? I was in the dark, standing up, screaming for you. I'm like, what was that? What was that? What
What
was
was
that?
that? What was that?
Baby, she is you. She. You are her. Like,
It's so many different shades of all of the characters I've ever played. Like there's Effie in there, there's Adelaide in there, but then also there's all of the ghosts of the women who have gone through hell to make their art. Like who have didn't get the chance, had all the talent, but then because of racism and because of poverty and because of the system, they didn't get to get their flowers. They died in addiction. They didn't get to see their, like Billie Holiday never got to see herself become a star. Like Billie Holiday didn't get to
oh.
see the legend that she would have become. Bessie Smith, like there's so many of them. And I feel like in that moment, they're all there with me. And they are all Elsie. You know,
Oh my
they're
gosh.
all Elsie. Like Elsie, because people are like, who is Elsie? Like Elsie is those artists who were like trying to make it, that were like, you know what? They were like, when she died, the day she died, the neighbors came to snicker. That's what comes from too much pills and liquor. That's Whitney. That's Amy Winehouse.
Oh.
That's all of them who died like in, like they loved them for their talent. And as soon as they saw a crack in the armor, they were laughing stock. Oh yeah, they died. Oh yeah, they went on drugs and they died. They were so, and I always wanted to be like, why? Do we ever talked about like why these people who get to a certain stardom and get some success go down this dark path and can't take it and can't, and they're so addicted
Mm.
to the applause, and then when the applause is gone they have nothing left, and then they have to find that high again in other things and people and bad people. And so that was just something that I could bring to it, but then also with the weight of the world right now.
Oh, I can't. I actually can't talk about this. It will upset the baby. I Anybody who is like, let's talk about it, not that you just did this, but they're like, let's talk about Trump. I'm like, and I'm going to leave now. Uh, it's
It hits
heavy.
different. It hits different. And
Yes.
to be a Black woman in this
In this
in this
time,
climate, just surviving, let alone in an industry where we're already fighting for every moment,
morsel.
every crumb, every thing. But that fight of Sally is my fight, is my daily fight. It's like life is a cabaret. Come on, let's hear the music play. Like, what good
Mm,
is sitting alone in your room? What good is sitting on the sidelines and not fighting? That's even worse. Giving up. You know what I mean? Giving up is worse, which is
oh.
wild.
My favorite line of yours is when I go, I'm going like Elsie. I was like, "Ah!" I don't know why that line. I don't know why that one, but I was like, wait a minute. All the things that I'm afraid of, forget that. Like,
Forget it.
forget it.
Don't, like, just go. Even
Shoot.
if I have to die trying, I'm gonna try. At least if
Oh
I,
my God.
even if I have to, I'd rather die as a star in this Kit Kat club than to go back to America and be a maid and to not do the thing that I want to do. That's what that whole synopsis of that thing is. I was like, if I have, I will give up this baby. I will give up this man. I will give up everything because my dream is more important to me. And
Mm,
for a woman to be that boldly selfish, when do you ever see that in a musical? When do you ever see
right.
that
Right.
in a musical that was written 60 years ago? Well, we were talking about this the other night, that like the abortion scene, well, you're pregnant, but like, but
Very
the
pregnant.
but to do a woman's choice in
Yeah.
1960, I mean, not 1960, but 60 years ago, that was written. And also, I never understood why the Sallys didn't play on the fact that to get a backroom abortion in the 1930s, you could die. And I really play that up in the last scene. And then I went and I was doing some research and I was like, oh, of course, the other Sallys, when they're white, they could have probably had access to a doctor who could have done it more humanely.
Without a hanger.
But a
Or-
Black Sally wouldn't have access to that. She would have to go find another person in the community to do this in a back room.
Wow.
And it would not, you wouldn't get the same medicine. Like they give you some kind of concoction to do. So that's why I was like, oh my God, no wonder no one ever played that abortion scene the way I'm playing it, because the stakes are different when you're Black.
Wow. Wow.
Medical care is different when you're Black. The things you have access to is different when you're Black.
Yeah.
Like there's so many
Everything.
things that change when you just change the race. Like, wow.
Yeah. Even the other day, I'm married to a white man. I was going on a walk and I had my backpack. I was doing a library day. I had my laptop and everything. And he's like, hey, can you stop by the store and get me some oats? And I was like, sure. But I had to go home first because I'm like, I'm not going to go into a grocery store with my backpack. It's like, as a Black woman, I just think about that. Like, there have been times where I've been wrongfully accused of stealing. I'm like, what? I've been shopping here for 8 years. Like, this is the tomfoolery that I feel like I have to think about. Like, if I have a book on me, I don't go to Barnes & Noble because I don't want it to be confused.
Wow. You know what? My partner's also white, and this happened to me when we were together in a store. And I was returning something. And you know how you pick up the thing you want to, I was exchanging something. You know how you pick up the thing and take it to the counter. So they thought I had stole the one that was in my hand. And he got so angry. He was like, they think you're stealing. How dare, like he got so mad. And I was like, welcome.
Welcome to my world.
They really think you were stealing? How dare they? He was so angry. And I was like, if I got this angry every time,
we would be in jail. I'd be in jail.
Yeah.
If I was just this angry, I'm like, oh, you've never been followed
And
in a store.
Like, you just walk away. And I was like,
you have to.
Just walk away. And he was like, I never thought about the fact that it was because you were Black. And I was like,
who knew? Wow. It is. Oh, Marisha, I could talk to you forever. What is today? Today is Friday. You have a show tonight. I'm letting you go.
I have a show tonight.
We've stayed way too long. I was going to let you go 15 minutes ago, but you're just so freaking captivating. I'm so sorry to take your time.
Amazing. Oh, thank you so much for having me. And make sure everyone gets my album, which is out.
What's it called?
Live in London. Marisha Wallace is my live album that I recorded in the West End to a sold out crowd. And I tell my whole story of how I went from growing up on a hog farm to becoming a West End star and singing for the King of England and then making it back. So there's music, but then there's also amazing stories. There's a very inspiring story for people who are trying to get into the business or people who are in the thick of it now. It will inspire you to keep going. So definitely go stream that and get the physical album or however you get your music.
How exciting. I can't wait to get it. It's out already?
It's out now, yeah. It's been out for like maybe 2 weeks. Yeah.
I can't wait. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And also these alphabet nails are giving me everything. They're giving me so much life.
Sally/Alphaba.
Come on, Sally/Alphaba. Y'all, this is Marisha Wallace. I'm your host, Salisha Thomas. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Salisha Show. What an honor and a pleasure. Marisha, you are fantastic. And break a leg tonight.
Thank you. So nice to meet you.
It's so great to meet you.